How do you remake a game? Do you just keep it as it was and just add a new coat of paint? Then what's the point of a remake? Or do you completely reimagine the game and risk losing the heart and soul of the original? Resident Evil 4 is an example of the perfect remake, and nothing shows that than the first 20 minutes of the game. A lot of people consider the intro to Resident Evil 4 original one of the greatest game intros of all time, and Capcom still managed to perfect perfection with the Resident Evil 4 remake. This is why Resident Evil 4's opening is perfect.
September 30th, 1998.
Just like the original, the remake starts with an opening monologue from Leon S. Kennedy. But while the original was about recapping Raccoon City and the fall of Umbrella, the remake makes it more about Leon, setting this game up as more of a character-driven story. You immediately know what Leon's been doing for the past 6 years, his mental state and his goals, foreshadows events to come later, and perfectly connects itself to Resident Evil 2.
This time, it can be different. It has to.
We meet up with the man himself, Leon Sexy Kennedy, being brought to his mission by two Spanish cops, who tell him about a bunch of missing people around this area. Eventually they pull over so one of the cops can go take a leak, and Leon spots some kind of warning. Confused why he's taking so long, the other cop sends Leon to find him, staying in the car so he won't get any parking tickets.
So much for helping me.
This is where the game truly begins. You walking alone through a dark forest. All you can hear is the wind and the birds. You get warning after warning to turn around, until you find a cabin in the woods. Stepping inside feels like you step back 100 years. Exploring, you find some kind of religious charm that says judgment is nigh in Spanish. And through a hole in the wall, you see a seemingly empty kitchen. As the tension builds up, you expect to see a horrific monster or a zombie. But as you look around, a seemingly normal man appears. Leon asks him about the missing cop, but the strange man is unresponsive. Investigating further, Leon finds the bloody badge of the police officer. And that's when the man attacks Leon. And Leon defends himself in the most brutal way. Throughout the kitchen, there's dead animals and a disgusting soup. What kind of people can live like this? You hear screams coming from the basement. The place is pitch black, covered in bear traps and bones. The basement is full of rats and animal carcasses. You find a police officer, but he's already long dead. And on the radio, you hear the other one getting attacked. Leaving to go rescue him, you hear a bug-like screeching on the stairs.
No fucking way.
The man from before tumbles down the stairs, being puppeteered by a screaming parasite in his neck. Desperately trying to escape, Leon runs to the attic, and perfectly telling his supervisor about what's going on.
Something's happened to the people here.
While up there, he gets confirmation that his objective is definitely here. No turning back now. I love how they take their time with this first encounter. In the original, you can see the house the second you take control, and there's barely any time to build suspense before the action starts. But in the remake, it lets you dread, it lets you ask questions. While we're here, hello everybody, my name is Volske. I'm working as hard as I can to make the best Resident Evil videos possible. And if you're enjoying this video, do a Chris Redfield boulder punch on the like button. Every single one helps me a lot. After a very stylish exit,
I'll let myself out.
we are back alone in the woods, and we find the corpse of a dog stuck in a bear trap, which is an obvious reference to the original game. Moving on, we get ambushed by two more men. Learning how to use our knife to defend ourselves, we take them out pretty easily, thinking to ourselves that this might not be as bad as we thought. Then we get hit by the single scariest jump scare in the entire series. Finally, we open a gate to see the main village. Investigating through our binoculars, we see the other police officer being burnt alive for the whole village to see, even freaking out Leon, who has been a calm, wisecracking badass this whole time. Being caught ourselves, we get only one objective: fight them off. You soon realize there's way too many to fight head on. You try and figure out where you're meant to go, and you eventually find a house. Entering it plays a cutscene. Cutscenes are usually a sign of progress, right? Leon boards himself into the building, but the situation just got worse. Looking out the window, a man with a chainsaw approaches the building. He doesn't go down like the other enemies. You can shoot him dozens of times and it'll be barely a scratch. If you're not careful, he'll rip you apart in one hit. Escaping the building, more and more enemies show up. You kill one, 3 more show up. They're smarter than zombies as well. They'll place bear traps and block off escape routes. They'll even corner and grab you and hold you for the chainsaw man, forcing you to use your last defense opportunity. If you played the original game, you might run to the tower to hide up there, but there's truly no escape. The floor will collapse under you, surrounding you and enemies. You run out of ammo. You lose all hope of surviving. Then a distant bell rings, stopping all the enemies in their tracks, leaving you confused on what just happened but relieved. and the tension gets relieved in one of the best ways possible.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
That was my short little breakdown of the intro of Resident Evil 4 Remake. I truly think it's the scariest Resident Evil intro in the entire series, and I just wanted to talk about it. It nailed making the situation worse and worse and you more panicked, then relieving that tension perfectly. But as always, my name is Volsky, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in a minute.